More weekend snow is on the way. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for clicking on my weather extra. I've got the weather office cold here, and I'm trying not to lose my voice tonight, so bear with me as we head through this forecast. But it does look like more snow is on the way. Saturday is the best portion of the weekend, with just snow showers and flurries. As we head into Sunday, a steadier snow develops during that time frame. Let's take a look at satellite radar to start us out. Notice there's an area of low pressure moving up into the Great Lakes, a series of low pressure systems, one down in the Gulf of Mexico here, and another one off the southeastern portion of the U.S. And it's this one that's going to ride north and develop and intensify as it passes south of Cape Cod and Nantucket over the weekend. That's going to be our coastal storm later in the weekend. Okay, storm tracker takes us right through Sunday morning, 8 o'clock. Notice the area of low pressure is well south and east of Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard, Cape Cod here. It's worth mentioning that forecast model guidance today has been shifting the storm system a little bit further off to the south, which would mean slightly less snow than we were originally thinking this morning and later last night. Still, with this forecast track, we would see our steadiest snow from Penobscot Bay up through the western mountains of Maine, back through New Hampshire, down through Vermont, and down through southern Maine here. If the storm decides to track a little further off to the north, well, we'll have to introduce a little bit of mix and some rain that you see situated just offshore. That is possible along southern coastal York County. I don't think it's a big deal. I think it's primarily snow, and a wet snow at that, with temps around the freezing mark, if not slightly above. But basically, the track of the storm system is going to ultimately determine how much snow we get here in northern New England. There's the old low sort of hanging back here. You got a lagging trough that's going to hang back through the day on Sunday. That's going to keep periods of light snow possibly right through Sunday evening. So it does look to be light snow right through the evening hours Sunday, and I think the kids go back to school on Monday with some sun returning. I just want to show you a little about what goes into making a snowfall forecast here. Here's some of the forecast models. What we're doing is we're looking at liquid equivalent, or if you'd melt all the snow, this is what you would measure as far as liquid here. So this is one of the forecast models, initialized, all these initialized this morning at 7 a.m. This is the North American model, and this takes us through Sunday night. Notice that darker shade of blue right there. That's about a quarter of an inch to a half an inch, based on a 10 to 1 or an 8 to 1 ratio. That would probably be around 2.5 to 6 inches of snow, with lighter amounts to the north. That did back off from last night's run. It shifted significantly south. This is the GFS model, hangs back a little more snow back in the mountains here, but generally a quarter of an inch to a half an inch, a 3 to 6 inch snowfall here based on that model. This is the Canadian model, very similar. Notice how they are in pretty good agreement today, taking probably about a 3 to 6 inch snowfall for southern and central parts of Maine, maybe a little bit less across the mid-coast. Now, I based most of my forecasts on this model. This is the European model, and the reason for that, it's got a good track record, at least it has over the last few weeks, and it's been the most consistent over the last several days. It hasn't been flip-flopping as much. Notice it has more liquid associated with the storm system, so we have the 3/4 of an inch line situated right in here, and based on an 8 to 1, which I think it will be, or a 10 to 1 ratio somewhere in there, that will be about 7 or 8 inches of snow. And that's why my forecast is calling for about 4 to 8 inches of snow for most of the viewing area here, with lighter amounts to the north and lighter amounts over eastern sections. But it's still a tricky forecast, and I want to urge folks to stay tuned to the forecast, because these model trends continue to flip-flop, or these models continue to flip-flop, and who knows what the next run will bring later on tonight and again tomorrow. Hour by hour in Storm Tracker. I want to start you out tomorrow morning around 7 o'clock. Now, the interesting thing about tomorrow, we're going to have an onshore wind, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit of ocean effect snow shower activity. Ocean effect snow showers and snow flurries are expected late tonight and tomorrow morning. So notice over southern York County, a little bit of blue showing up there. There's the chance for snow showers and flurries on Saturday for even inland areas, but I don't think it's going to be a big deal. At most, a coating to maybe an inch of snow. Just a lot of clouds around for most towns, though. Temps in the mid-30s. Now, the steadiest snowfall arrives later on Saturday night, more so on Sunday morning. Again, notice that steadiest snowfall occurring from Penobscot Bay up through the western mountains of Maine, all the way back through western parts of New England here, or northern New England, I should say, and down across southern New Hampshire and southern Maine. There's that mix line situated offshore. One thing I want to watch as far as the mixing goes, if the storm shifts a little further north, we would have to introduce the chance for some of that mix along coastal areas. I don't think it's a big deal right now, but something to watch in the coming days. The snow starts to wind down by Sunday evening. We're seeing the snow taper to snow showers Sunday night, and then Monday will be a better day. Again, this is my forecast based on my latest thinking here, probably about 4 to 8 inches of snow, probably a little bit less than we were thinking this morning. The reason for that, the trend has been to shift this just a little little bit further south. We'll have to see if that trend continues in the coming days. And again, most of that will be during the day on Sunday, so we're still a solid 2 days away or a day and a half away from the main event. With this storm system. Again, we'll have to at least entertain the idea of a little bit of mix or maybe even a heavier snowfall or a more compact snowfall, I should say, along the coastline. So probably about 3 to 6 there, but I wouldn't be shocked if we bring that 4 to 8 all the way to the immediate coast. Portland's in the 4 to 8 up to Lewiston, almost up to Augusta right there, and lighter amounts as you head to the north, and really not much at all over extreme eastern and northern parts of the state. Again, that's my latest thinking on a Friday afternoon. Look for a lot of clouds tomorrow with snow showers and snow flurries. Again, it's probably not a big deal tomorrow. You might get a quick coating, you might get a quick inch, but Saturday's not the main event. That's late Saturday night and into the day on Sunday. Brighter skies return on Monday. The kids head back to school. Tuesday looks okay. Now, the late long-range forecast actually looks very unsettled. From Wednesday to Friday of next week, we could see a series of disturbances that could affect us. It's a blocking pattern and sort of an unsettled pattern that's going to keep the chance for snow and rain in the forecast. A lot of gray skies there, so it looks like we're headed for a pretty unsettled stretch in the long-range forecast. There's your inland temperatures. Notice not much of a change there. One thing you will notice, though, on Sunday, notice your inland temperatures around freezing mark. Even coastal areas will be slightly above freezing, so it's not that dry snow we've been getting used to. It's more of the wet snow, the kind you can make good snowballs with. So that's the way it looks for the weekend anyway. We'll be back with more updates coming up on News 13 at 11 tonight. And of course, Steve will have much more coming up tomorrow. Hope everyone has a nice night and a great weekend.